Wow. How are you? And thank you for tuning in. So today we are talking about a sad topic, of infidelity in relationships, unfaithfulness, cheating. Yes, that heart-wrenching, heartbreaking thing that people do to their loved ones. We want to discuss them in the context of, is there hope after infidelity? What infidelity does, many people don't realize, is that it is traumatizing. It alters. We have two parties here: the one who cheats and the one who has been cheated on. The offending and the offended. All right. So the one who cheats many times has their own perspective and reasons for doing what they did. Many times they feel justified. You have heard that many times men cheat straight because they are not in love. They sleep with somebody because they are not in love. They will say, "But I don't love her. It's you, my love." Women cheat because they are in love. "But I love him." You know, we have different genders where you hear that. There are sometimes when people cheat simply because they can get away with it, especially men. A very common psychology, they can get away with it. And women sometimes they cheat because they are unhappy in their own relationships. Many times the man may not be unhappy at all in the relationship. He might simply be straying because he saw an opportunity, because he felt, he saw an opening and all that. So I want to show you some of the results and what chances you stand to survive after infidelity. Number one, the person who has been cheated on can lose faith in themselves, can develop doubts. It's trauma. I want you to think of trauma. This kind of trauma in infidelity is so shattering. The effects cannot be listed in one sitting, and they vary from person to person. But generally, they tend to alter a person's sense of justice in the world. I was doing right, and I was still kicked in the face. This world is unfair. There's nothing about justice. I gave my all, and I was still kicked in the face. What is it about this fairness? And don't tell me about doing right and faithfulness. So a person who has been cheated can lose total perspective about fairness, right, justice in this world. Many, if they are not careful, they go on a revenge mission. They go cheating to revenge. They go cheating to get back. They go cheating to start and, they don't know it. They go revenging. So the initial reaction is usually shocking and confusing and darkening. All right. The person who has cheated many times, they will show remorse, but they want you to get over it quickly. Don't keep on talking about it. I have said sorry. Many of them will try to gloss over it. But the person who has been cheated on, once they realize that the trust has been violated, they feel shortchanged, they feel angry, they feel confused. And we need to say that infidelity, where the violation of trust, is the couples who draw the boundary. There are people whom we are talking about. If you call another person the same names you call me, the sweetheart, those pet names, if you use it on another person, there are some people whom the word dear or sweetheart or my dear is already crossing the boundary. There are degrees to violation of trust. So many times flirting on phone can be very hurtful, emotional cheating, emotional infidelity. Don't minimize it and say, we didn't do it, we were just talking. It depends on the kind of relationship those people have. There are people who have a more relaxed relationship where they use the words, but some people who are westernized. They call each other, "Hey, sweetheart, how are you doing? Hey, sweetie." They use it loosely. But in other places, especially in the conservative African culture, the word dear is taboo. Huh? You call a person dear? Yeah. There are many people, it is a heavy one. But for me, I always say context is everything. Even if me and my wife, we use the word sweetheart, I can start talking to another person who, from their world, they use the word sweetheart easily, loosely. Now, will I keep rebuking everyone? Don't use that word with me. My wife is very sensitive. No, we have a very strong cord. Don't use it. The context is everything. There are people who will text you using a language you don't like. Will you keep on rebuking everyone? Look at context. Look at, did you encourage it? Did it mean anything? So don't just pick things on the surface. You'll be a difficult person if you keep rebuking everyone. Some of them are your colleagues, your seniors. Some of them are people in church. That's how they are. But hey, we are in the world. We can't coach the world on how to talk to me. So the boundaries of infidelity vary. But there's one thing we all agree. The sexual act with another person. Sexual activity. Many of the time it can be the intercourse, it can be the kissing, or it can be touching, whatever sexual thing. For many people, that is already crossing the boundary. With words and flirting, there can be argument. But even with flirting, we know when people start having audio, discussing audio pornography, some people's idea of flirting is so queer. And talk about others sending nudes, exchanging nudes, or talking bedroom language and talking those things. So the boundaries vary, but we all agree. When people go to exchanging nudes, discussing bedroom activity like sex itself, we all agree that is already too far. So although it's the partners who set the boundary, we are already what we agreed on. When I talk about cheating, I'm discussing those things of like exchanging nudes and talking. The definition of nude, people can start agreeing. But I'm saying the kind of photo that you wouldn't be comfortable in public. That should be private. All right. We're talking about things like having sex, or other people are caught before they do it. All right, but they were planning and they were on the way to do it. So a person who was being cheated on will feel confused. Now, also the way you found out matters. Some people come up to you and they confess. It is painful, but it's a fact that they confess themselves. But sometimes you find out yourself, they are busted, they are revealed. Somebody discloses, somebody exposes them to you. You track the communication. You intercept the communication. One of the things that happens is some people apologize because they're being caught, not because they intend to change. I want you to know that there are people who are viewing their lives and they're not committed to change for the sake of the relationship. They're not committed to stay with you alone. They are only there for the benefits, to say, so to speak. They're not ready to commit to one person. They just want to have the benefit, hang around and just be married socially, have you there, but they're still doing their thing out there. While you are giving it your all, they're only giving a fraction. That's part of why people cheat. You come to discover a thing that's been going on with. Another thing that might happen to the person who has been cheated on is that they might experience prolonged depression, stress, anxiety. They can have post-traumatic stress disorder. They can have psychological serious problems which cannot be underestimated. They might take a lot of time to heal. It varies. You see, they are losing. They are losing the way you would grieve, the way you lose a person through death. They are losing the trust they had. The idea that they are special is gone. The idea that they are the only one. They are chosen. They are special to some. They are cherished. That in particular is what they are losing. And waking whether you are the one offending or you are the one who has been offended. I'm going to tell you do's and don'ts during, after an affair has been revealed. Number one, do's and don'ts to survive an affair after it has happened. Now, if you are the partner who has been hurt by affair, number one, stay calm when expressing feelings. Don't throw glasses, don't kick. Don't throw shoes, don't bite the person. If you need to vent, go somewhere to vent privately. If you need somewhere, sometimes you need to start with a friend with whom you can try to process and calm down a little bit. So try to stay calm when expressing your feelings, asking them how, what is that, and then listen to your partner's perspective. Some of them have an excuse that is very valid from their angle. I was trapped, I was tricked. Oh, it was because I was deprived at home. Oh, you've been ignoring me. Oh, we were so far away from each other. Oh, it's been no. Listen to their perspective. Listen to it, whether it makes sense or not. Why? You need that for the sake of correcting future or experiencing closure. You need to know why they did what they did from their mind, whether it is rational or irrational. Hear it. Don't tell me. No, tell me what you are thinking. Then they will give you the perspective. If you are going to correct and move on in future, you are going to correct that. Even them, you'll work on correcting that gap. Or if you're not getting back together, you need it for closure. But how could they do that? You need to know how they were thinking, so that maybe it's not all about you. It's other things happening in them. So you need to listen to their perspective. Feel all your feelings. Don't block, don't run away, don't hide it, don't slide. Have you attended a burial and a person who has been bereaved is going through a burial as if it were normal? They're even consoling the rest of you for crying. And they're moving as if they're going through a movie. They have not sunk in the emotions. They have resisted to feel. Later, the emotions catch up with you when it is too late and people are no longer in this thing. You suffer alone. It becomes complicated grief. You can suffer complicated grief after rejection, after affair, if you do not feel. Sink. You know why we avoid bad feelings? You know it. They feel bad. So like re-experiencing the pain. We want to gloss over it and assume, okay, tears open. That's okay then. That's okay. No. Feel it. You're experiencing a real loss and you need to feel it. Another thing, ask questions that help you to heal and rebuild trust. Rebuilding trust is possible, but it takes work. Ask questions. And you may not ask that day only, or that month only, or that year only. Sometimes they keep coming back. It's okay. I'll come to this partner who was offended. They must allow you to keep asking questions even long after the event has gone. All right? So ask questions that help you to heal and rebuild trust. No way a person who is expecting you to heal can start asking you can tell you, hey, get over it. No, we are done with that. No, sometimes, although we are not talking about overdoing, but again, we are talking, whatever is helping you to heal, to rebuild trust, ask it. And then, think carefully. Think carefully about details you may not want to know. There's a tendency to ask everything, including the gory details. Tell me how it went. Did you do this? And the other. And then you ask details that will torment you for many years. Torment you for long. You don't need to see maybe some people, there is the pictures they were exchanging, then you're keeping the pictures or the videos and you're taking the mean. They can torment and traumatize you. They are gory things. Naturally, you wouldn't watch. Some of them are pornographic. You didn't want to watch that. Sometimes you don't want to go too far. Once you've known enough, just limit how much you dig up. You can dig up things and they eat you for years. All right? Don't overtrust. Don't overdig the detail. Then be patient. Forgiveness is both a decision and a process. Once you decide to forgive, expect time to pass as you work on it. It's a journey. Today you're okay, tomorrow you're not. Forgiveness and healing are related. But forgiveness is the decision to let go of your desire for revenge, desire for retribution. Before you forgive, you say, I wish you get knocked by a car. Karma will catch up. That is now you have not forgiven. When you're forgiven, you say, it's all right. It's happened. Okay, let's see what you can do. Whether you are coming back or you're not coming back, you need to forgive. You forgive for your own sake. The people who are holding bitterness. How could you do that to me? And I've seen women who say, I never knew another man. I was a virgin until I knew you. Now you are here breaking my heart. It's okay if you are a virgin, but don't bring things that are unrelated. Focus on the issue that has happened. All right. Then another thing, the first one is expect your partner to struggle with this process sometimes. Sometimes they don't want to hear it, but you want to talk about it. So let me talk about the partner who has had the affair. Completely break off the affair. Completely break contact with the person you cheated with. Completely. This is not negotiable. Even if they have your baby, even if they have your child, and those of you who marry people who have children, and the baby daddy or the baby mama is somewhere in the picture, you better draw clear lines. What kind of contact will be going on? And if you think you're not sure, if you think they are slimy, they are sloppy about it, hide. Disappear from that. Then listen to your hurting partner. Sometimes listening, it's all painful because it's like you're being whipped. But just listen. It's part of it. Take it in, man. Then take responsibility without defensiveness. All right? Openly answer questions. Expect repeated fear, even when you are being honest now. They start fearing, could you be doing it again? You feel so bad for being suspected. But you see, they never used to suspect you before. You gave them reason to suspect you. So expect this more. And then slow how you are moved by their pain. Show how you are moved by their pain and fear. Please show empathy. When they feel discouraged, hold them. Tell them, I wish, I am sorry. I know. Show empathy. All right? And then sincerely apologize and express regret. And remember, after you apologize, the best backup for apology is what? Changed behavior. You change behavior to show apology. And then ask how you can bring healing and reassurance. All right? Ask how you can bring healing and reassurance. Those are do's. Let me go through don'ts quickly. For the partner who has been hurt by the affair, do not retaliate or seek revenge. Okay? Do not pull away. Don't retaliate. Don't seek revenge. Don't pull away. Don't make big decisions right away. From today, I am migrating to America. Huh? Now, from today, I will never. I'm going to have another child so I can forget. I am going to resign from my work. I will never again talk to those people. Don't make big decisions right now. You're not in a good mental state. Postpone drastic changes. Don't do them now. All right? And then don't hold your feelings in. They will just get stronger. Most of you have noticed that whenever you keep quiet to avoid conflict, you only start a war within yourself. You must have noticed that. Don't keep quiet to avoid conflict. Always find a way. Always find a way to be to allow the emotion to wash over you. Don't let it sit in. And then do not wait to get counseling. Don't postpone counseling for a year. Get a therapist. Get a life coach. Somebody who can vent and talk what is going on. Don't, for the partner was offended, do not pull away also. Yeah? Don't run away and start spending so much time away from your partner. Don't justify your actions or blame your partner. Don't shift. It's because of you that I cheated. Never do that. Alright? Don't hide anything else. Okay? Don't become impatient. And don't expect one conversation to fix everything. These conversations will be coming. Emotions are roller coaster. It's a roller coaster. Today they are, tomorrow they're down, they keep improving. Then do not pressure your partner to move forward and get your right. Alright? Also, don't postpone counseling too much. Alright? I want to remind you that there's something completely selfish, evil, inhuman about breaking a person's trust. It is so shattering that it cannot be excused, but it happens. So when it happens, does the couple have a chance? Imagine, yes, there are two things. If the offending partner is willing to work at it, and if the offended partner is willing to give it a shot, they can have even a better relationship than before. How? One, the person who went out maybe used to trust themselves too much, or they're not. Especially for men, there's a transformation that must happen. After men marry, they must experience mental transformation. On the day they go to the altar and they say those things, I do. Many of them don't know what they are doing. They just say, okay, I do what? I'm getting a sex at home. I do, yes, I'm getting somebody to go for me. I do what? So they're just thinking benefits. They're not thinking of the costs, the responsibilities, the requirements. There's a mental transformation for a man to tame his passions. All right? To tame his passions and rein in on their horse, to rein in on their energies and wandering passions, and to bring themselves to their wife, to align their appetite to the domestic, to what is being served at home. All right? There are men who go through the transformation after this fall, after this cheating. That's when they cut links. There are also women who have been dragging their exes along. Now it's after the ex that they come to realize, after they fall, they come to realize they're risking everything. So this failure, this mistake of cheating can become the point of transformation if you allow it. Only if you are open to going through the motions and healing and recommitting. Infidelity becomes a death point for relationships when there is lack of remorse and there's lack of readiness to work on it. If the person who cheated is not willing to cut links, for example, with the person they cheated with, even if it's a colleague they cheated with, we need to see a change in how they associate. They may not be able to be physically distant because they're working in the same environment, but we expect that they are not in touch or talking or what like they were before, and there's personal trauma. No, we must see a definite change. All right? I must also warn that the offending partner to not overpromise. I promise you that I will always be at home 6 p.m. By 6 p.m. I'll always. Don't overpromise. Don't make drastic changes at that time. Also be realistic. Okay? So I want to remind us that it's not the infidelity that determines whether you break up or you become a better couple. It's how you react to it. All right? And remember, there's no point of apologizing if you keep repeating what you're saying sorry for. The best demonstration of remorse is after you promise, you live up to your words. You must back up your words to make sure your partner builds trust again. It's work. Those who say trust cannot be rebuilt, it can be rebuilt. It can. If there is understanding, if there is work, if there's vulnerability, if we rekindle our love, if we start working on it again, you can have even a better relationship that is now founded on more solid, because there's a person with a gap in their personality, with a gap, with a mistake, who was too open, who was not careful, and they ended up messing up. Now they have learned, they have closed that loophole, they're better now, they're working with more consciousness, they are aware now, it can be a better relationship moving forward. If they learn from the lesson, become better by it, and improve their lives. I want to introduce my guest. Today we have the right guest who went through infidelity. We will know how our marriage ended. That is Phoebe Hamishi. Mumefunzwa na corona kugota. Ladies, you know it's so kugota. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Phoebe,
yes.
How do you relate to today's topic?
I've heard you the way you're talking. I think most of it is what I went through.
Wow.
Yes. But I thank God I overcame.
Okay.
There are things that, let me say, God helped me, because first of all, I learned that I have to forgive, because the bitterness in me was like killing me. Sometimes I could feel like my heart was bleeding.
We have started up here. Let's start down there.
Yeah. Okay.
So, are you saying you were married?
Yes, I was married, though it was not an official marriage. We were planning for it. But he came officially and took me from my parents' home. He introduced me to his family. Although it was at a very tender age. I was 19.
19?
Yes.
And I was asking 19 years. Phoebe has helped me today.
Yes.
Because I've been asking them, how do you put 19-year-old and marriage in the same sentence? But there's something very poignant she has said.
Yes.
She said many of these girls are looking for acceptance.
Yes.
It's because they don't have love at home. It's because they are treated like aliens.
Yes.
They have never felt love. So the first time they feel it,
yes.
Oh my God, she's telling me it is sweeping.
Yeah. Carried away. I was totally carried away. I'm telling you, this man loved me. It was so open. It was so open. At first I used to feel ashamed, because it's the first time.
Yeah.
But now I had to accept, because it's like it was, you see the way you take, you're very thirsty and then you find cold water. So it was like soothing my soul, my wounded soul. Yes. Then I accepted.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. You had finished Form 4?
Yes.
But you said you got in touch when you were still in school.
When I was still in school in Form 4.
Where?
Actually, what happened, I've been singing.
Okay.
And you know me, I'm not shy. I love dancing. So sometimes I schooled at Form 3 and Form 4. I schooled at Aga Khan High School, Waiyaki Way.
Right.
It was a day school. So we could alight from the bus in town, and then I walk till home.
Right.
Now, while we are walking, we are singing, we are dancing. Then one day I remember, it's like I attracted a crowd. I come to realize it after I've finished. Then he was there. That's when the relationship started. But at first I could resist, because I could see, this is bad manners. I've grown up my parents took me to church from a very tender age. Oh. Yes.
Okay.
So I could feel but at the back of my mind I felt, this man loves me. Let me just go. Yes. Because he seemed to be very loving. I don't know what came and happened afterwards, but he was very genuine and sincere. Yes, because he took me from in fact, when we started dating, he could come home, ask permission from my parents. Mama Phoebe, I want to take your daughter out for an outing, and I'll bring her maybe at 6 in the evening. And that's exactly what he did. Yes, then he was given the permission very quickly.
Wow.
Yes.
You know, you've said something I keep hearing from all pre-25s. When I ask them, what were you thinking when you married? He said the love was sincere.
Yes.
That it was genuine. I loved him genuinely. He loved me genuinely. That's a common line.
You know, at that tender age, it's like your mind is still not yet developed to maturity.
And I ask them, how did you know it was sincere? You are testing it with a defective instrument. How could you differentiate sincere from insincere? Because it can be sincere, but the setting is wrong. The timing is wrong. The environment is wrong. Where you are in life is wrong. It can be true love, but at the wrong time.
Very true.
Very good. Let's go on.
So I got married at just immediately after Form 4. That whole year, it's like we dated, courting, then I got married. I got my first, we got our first child, who was a girl, but she passed away at, I think she was 11 months.
Oh, sorry.
Then after the burial, it's like we separated for a time because there was like some differences between my family and his, because you know where he comes from, they're in deep traditions and you see these things, but from our side we are more of church things. So there was a difference, and I couldn't make a decision for myself. So we had to separate for some time, but you know, still going back home after the death of my first child, I think I still went back to that state of rejection and desperation.
You're right.
So what I did, I had to elope. I looked for this man. He had gotten another job in Kitale. That's when I went. I went like secretly. We stayed for some time. Then I got again pregnant with my son, who is now 19 years. So the time I was away with him in Kitale, the love was too sweet again. Hey. In fact, I remember asking him not to even include anyone from my family or his family, but he took me to his home village. I stayed with his parents for almost a year. That's when after that I got pregnant with my son. Then I don't know, he was like this mama's boy, as in every time he could tell me, you know, mama has said today we go this way. The following day, mama has said we go this way. The other time, you know, mama has said that we should not live together, oh, this and that. So in the
those
process,
are some of the things we are saying at 19 you can see.
Yes.
I hope our people can hear that. The love was still sweet. Yeah. But the man is still a mama's boy.
Yeah, he was a mama's boy.
Very good.
But although he was like 7 years ahead of me.
7 years older than you?
Yes.
Wow.
But he was still a mama's boy. Then I remember one time, I just, from nowhere he came and told me that the family has decided. You see, everything is about the family has decided, not him deciding. He has decided that since he doesn't have a job, I don't have a job, they've decided that, you know, the home is in Western, almost near Uganda. I don't want to say the specific place. So he told me that they've decided that they want him to go to, I don't know, Mombasa Polytechnic for some course. So it was going to be very hard for me to stay with the parents while he's away. And at the same time, they won't allow me to stay with him there. So what happened?
Why? They won't allow you?
I don't know. That's what he told me.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
That's what he told me. Yeah. And I remember I was just, he told me that he's gonna take me back to my parents' place so that they won't think that maybe he's abandoned me. To my shock, the following morning, we went just about to board the bus. There was only one ticket for me to come back to my parents' place back here in Nairobi with a letter writing to my parents that, oh, we are very sorry, for now we can't stay with your daughter, it's not that we've abandoned her, blah blah blah, or our son is going to school. Do you know, the moment I just arrived at my parents' home, the following day, no communication from this man.
What?
Yes.
You're with your baby?
No, not yet. I was not yet with okay, a few months later he came back. Okay, I came to learn later, okay, it's like this relationship was, what he was telling me is not what he was telling his parents or his family or his friends. Our relationship, okay, I came to learn it's like he only used me as his sex tool. Yes.
And where was the love?
Because I thought at that tender age I used to think the way we see on movies, the way your friends tell you how they experience in their own relationships.
You're right.
Yes. So what happened after that, I remember I tried to find a way. Okay, one of his sisters was very good to me. So she found a way of me communicating with him. We communicated. He came back. I came to learn later that I was his secret lover, because he came back. He got a job. We stayed together as a husband and wife in the house. I got pregnant. Then one day, I remember in the evening, I came back and I found him like he's done shopping. I'm seeing baby's clothes. And I told him I was just 2 months pregnant. Then I asked him, hey, my husband, you've started doing this shopping at a very tender. I mean, I'm still 2 months pregnant. You don't even know it's a boy or a girl. Little did I know that he has a wife at home in the village. And I'm here in the city with him. The family doesn't know that I'm in his life. Do you know what happened that day? I was beaten.
By him?
Yes. Because now I've found out that he's traveling to the village, and he was just, he pretended like he's just going out and coming back.
And he beating you up for what?
Because I've already known the secret of him marrying another woman. I was beaten. I almost miscarried. And that's how I came out of that relationship. Yes.
That's how you came out?
Yes. Because now I almost miscarried. I remember it's just a watchman from somewhere who took me to hospital. And I thank God the doctor said if I could have slept with that in that state, I could have lost my pregnancy.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
At no charges.
Wow.
I was treated free.
Oh.
Yes.
So you went back home?
I went back home. Again, the rejection and depression, I'm telling you. Now I had to persevere, because now where would I go? Where would I go? But what made me like just to give myself like a hope? The only thing that has given me hope is God's word. You know, in all these processes, I was still saved, born again, loving God. Loving God.
I know.
Yes. So what kept me going on, like God brought people to my life, mentors, good friends, people who could encourage me. At some point I could live with people even for 6 months, 1 month, 1 week. I've been living like that.
Since when you were pregnant, and the boy now is how many years?
19.
Have you had another love life?
No. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Folks, you see now why I'm mad about pre-25 dating. 19 years. Oh, Habisi. Like, anyway, can we move on? Yes. Can you move on with your life? What are you waiting for?
No, I already moved on. Like the last 5 years. If I can show you my pictures the last 5 years and now, they are totally two different people. Do you know I used to look like an old woman? I could even like board a matatu, and I could be called, "Where show? Ebu songapo."
Oh my.
Let me just use this.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. But I thank God for the transformation, because I chose to forgive and move on. And now, by the way, now I'm in a relationship. Yes, but I'm very careful. I'm in a relationship, though the guy is out of the country. But I'm trusting God, it shall be well, because now it has to be well.
You're right.
Because I also remember at that tender age, I didn't know that in everything we do in this life, we have to put God first. Because if there is anything that is like, God knows. The Bible says that he knows the end from the beginning. Yes. If there's something wrong, he will just show you.
And part of what people we need to pick here is when you are that young, you can't do due diligence. There's a due diligence you need to do
Yes.
to check background. Am I accepted where we are going?
Mhm.
Will he protect me if the family is hostile? I will not reject him for that,
Yeah.
but I want to know how much he's doing to shelter me from the hostility. All right, how much has he individuated from
Yes.
parents? All right, because the woman is the one who's doing social migration. She must do more homework.
Yes. Very
She's
true.
being adopted. Her names change. Her social life changes. She's the one who carries bags.
Yes.
Eh? That's why she's the one who wears white on wedding day. The man comes in with other men. You can hardly. Which one is it? Is it the short or not that one? Utamwona. Because it's the woman who is. The stakes are very high for the woman. Therefore, you can't get into marriage by escaping from home. You can't sneak into marriage as a method of avoiding the love you're not getting at home.
Very true.
You'll pay for it for many years.
Yes.
It's unnecessary, mate. Oh, beloved, it's unnecessary.
Actually, I've realized I've wasted a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because I remember after school, I was supposed to maybe to have gone to college.
Yeah.
What happened when we started this relationship? I remember asking this man. Do you know he promised he would take me to college?
They always
like
promise.
I remember, yeah, they always promise. Like I remember, I don't know if you remember, there used to be a college, a secretarial college just around Hilton,
Yeah.
Temple College. That's where I was supposed to go. And he kept on postponing, and years going. And after I left, it's like, now where do you go?
I know.
Who will help you?
I know.
I am telling you, I have suffered. Hey, I have suffered.
No skills.
With my son. No skills, nothing. Nothing
Let's
at all.
reiterate this, Hamisi. I've always told my pre-25s, get money before you get a man. So that if
Yes.
the man leaves, you remain with the money.
Very true.
Get some marketable skills at least. It may not be money in a bank, but certificate as a teacher.
Yes.
A degree, diploma as a BCom. Some skills you can work and put a roof under yourself. Decently. Should things go haywire? Should the mother bewitch the son? The mother should bewitch the son.
Yes.
They want to scratch you kunyuma. Wanatupa vitu. Yeah? Eti mukosane. Their mothers will do that in Africa.
Very
Listen,
true.
Yes. And they see, be careful with those sons who the mother has transferred the need of a man to him. He already has a woman. The mother is the woman.
Yeah.
She treats him like the partner. Except the sexual component, everything else, he's the husband. The needs, the sharing, the what. So the woman coming to marry the man is looking like a competition. Huh? So she might be pushed away, especially if she does not look controllable.
Yes.
Let me pick a few questions, Hamisi.
Okay.
All right. Somebody said, I almost got trapped there, but God's so great. I have escaped that stage safely, though a bit wounded, but healed now.
Amen.
All right. Somebody saying here, Benjamin, some are pretenders just to let go, but still repeat the same. I rather run. All right. Live from Dubai. I love your shows, Benjamin. Thank you, Irene. All right. Somebody saying, wait, watching from the US. Glad that I was able to catch a live stream. Thank you, Hadassah. All right. Carol Washuka is asking, please talk about these men who keep asking for nudes as a sign of true love. Would you send nudes?
That is lust. It's called the spirit of lust.
Spirit of
sin.
lust.
That is sin.
Rebuke.
Yes. Rebuke in Jesus' name. Run away. The Bible says, flee. And the devil, flee from the resist him, and he will flee.
That's right.
Yes.
Agnes is saying forgiveness is releasing the desire to revenge. At what point did you forgive?
Like I've said, I've stayed with this thing for almost 15 years. I was so bitter. Yes, I could get people, it's easy to tell someone just forgive, but it's not easy.
All right.
What has helped me, what I can say from my own experience, it's just first of all, are you willing to forgive? And it is God's grace that will help you to forgive. Forgiving is not easy.
You're right.
It is not easy. Do you know, at some point I tried committing suicide?
You did?
Like thrice? Yes.
Because of that?
Because I now feel like I would never fall in love. I would never get... It's like this was the only man in the whole world for me.
I know.
Oh, but now I thank God. Oh, God has good men. Please, ladies who are there desperate, God has good men. Just stay put. Love yourself.
Carol Maksabwa has recognized you. There is my former schoolboy.
Yes, that's my
Schoolie.
schoolmate.
Schoolie, yeah, I like it. And then my day Mapako is saying, well done, my sister, but slow down. I don't know what she's saying. All right. Okay. Kagoya is saying, but Benjamin, that's the love you were praising. That's what ignorance does to many women. All right. Or somebody saying we increase the volume. Benjamin, please increase the volume. All right. Okay. My producer will do that. Okay. That's true. Somebody is confirming you can remain with the money. Okay. Somebody saying, thank God you are still alive.
Amen.
Whenever there is life, there is hope, there is
Amen.
opportunity.
Very
right?
true.
That is Teresa there. All right. Okay. Let me pick the last one. We come to the tail end. Thank you for following you guys. Somebody saying, I don't think there is hope after the affair.
There is hope.
Let me watch and know. All right. Live from South Africa, Lydia Ramothibe. All right. That's true. A sorry without change in character is vain. So now,
Yes.
say you're in another relationship, so at least you're rebuilding your life now.
Yes.
You're with your son.
Yes.
The man abandoned the son also.
No, he from the time he was in form, I think class 8 third term. That's why he came back.
From the time the boy was in the...
Imagine.
Wow, Phoebe, you've been through stuff.
Yes. I'm telling you, if you could see my photos
Next
for
time
5 years.
Next time we'll come with that. Next time
5 years and
people
now.
will mistake you for granny.
Imagine. Very true.
Wow.
You know what I came to realize? When you have, the Bible says we are sick, when your heart is wounded,
You're right.
even the bones and the bone marrows,
That's true.
they become sick too.
That's true.
But when your heart is merry and happy,
Mm.
what has made me like have a merry heart is just encouraging myself by God's word.
Mm.
There's a story in the Bible that David had lost, 1 Samuel verse chapter 30 there, that David had lost everything, his wives, everything. But the Bible says he encouraged himself in the Lord.
In the Lord, you're right.
There is nothing in this world that can help you except God. It is only
So
God.
you're also confirming that even after a person leaves you, after you break up, you can still be happy.
Yes.
You can still find life.
Very happy.
So even if the reconciliation does not happen, even if they don't come back,
Yes.
don't bury your life.
Forgive and move on.
Exactly.
Yes.
God is not done with you. So guys, this is how far we are going to go today. But we must emphasize the following. That if this thing ever happens in your life, there's infidelity, there's somebody switches on you, flips on you, first of all, face reality and don't drag on for years. If a person has moved on without you, please move on without them. By all means, don't elect them to be your God.
Yes.
Don't elect them to be your God. And for 19-year-olds, Phoebe has sounded a warning. It's not love you seek.
Yes.
It's acceptance. Don't seek it from love relationship because you can't tell counterfeit from real.
Very
You
true.
fall. You'll end up in worse traps. What she was calling sweet love, she was beaten up. She had to be saved by strangers. She has suffered for many years.
Yeah.
Please listen. Pre-25. Phoebe has helped me understand. They are running. They are trying to look for acceptance. Be careful where you go when you run. You can end up in worse captivity than that which you are running away from. Remember, there's no shortcut to marrying right. Grow up first, establish yourself, have patience, then come to marry with your eyes open when you know where your life is going, when you have established a career direction, and then you can read men for who they are. You can do due diligence without being carried around, flipped around, being put in buses and sent away like a parcel. You can have some say in the affair, some authority. And I will not close before I want 23 hours because they graduate and get jobs and they think they're mature. Your brain is still not ready to do due diligence.
Yes.
Grow yourself still. Give yourself 2-3 more years. Start interacting with men 25, 26 when you have streamlined your career and your brain is mature to see things without being colored by your wishes, by your childhood pain. And I said, once you start working, your first salary, your first money, use it to correct your childhood gaps, childhood experience, to fill the gaps in your knowledge, to set the stage for your career. Don't go home and start those small money you are getting, you're trying to throw it all around. No, start with yourself. You are the first cash cow. You are the one who's going to be milk
You'll milk from your emotional life throughout life. So you better correct that emotional life. Make sure you don't have too much neediness, low self-esteem, low self-doubt, lack of father's love, running after acceptance and all that. Make sure you start by correcting, because a bad marriage, it's too much pain, but it's avoidable. Thank you so much, Phoebe, for coming.
Thank you too for welcoming.
And thank you. See you next week, same time.